Hey, Mr. Patterson. I first want to apologize for turning in this assignment so late. I decided last minute that I wanted to add this to my podcast, and I quickly started searching up monologues because, well, not today, of course. It's just I've been having so much trouble choosing a monologue, and I have two options. I kind of originally wanted to do the Forrest Gump one that I had in mind. I was just so scared about not perfecting his accent because it is a deep Southern accent, and I'm just positive I wouldn't be able to perfect it, although it is my first option. So I don't know, but I'm kind of leaning towards the Mean Girls Miss Norbury monologue. It might not be 2 minutes, probably 1 minute 40 seconds at most. But I do like this monologue. I can stretch it out if I want. So yeah, I'm just gonna add this to my podcast basically. So the title is Mean Girls. It's the Mean Girls movie, and the director of this film, let me search up because I had it here. Oh, sorry about that. It was directed by Mark Waters. Now we all know what Mean Girls is. It's a classic basically, and yeah, I think I'll just start. So I am doing the scene where Miss Norbury is talking to the classroom, and character and casting. So in the scene I'm doing Miss Norbury. She's a teacher, and basically, how do I say this? She's trying to talk to the class about this. She's telling, she's kind of shedding some light, and I really like this particular scene because she's just giving them advice. She's doing her best. She's doing her best here. She's really trying her best to help them out, So I like that. And the casting, how does this influence how you see the characters and the costumes? Well, the casting is amazing. Tina Fey did a really amazing job with this, and it's funny because she's a comedian. I mean, I guess if you want to call her a comedian officially. She's kind of a comedian, but she's a really good actress, especially in this film. I liked how she showed her character. It's funny because her character just shows kind of like that one teacher we all think is miserable and stuff, but she's a really nice teacher. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like people love the movie so much they didn't even think to care much about her character, but her character is a really beautifully made character. And I feel like looking back, she was actually really underestimated. So I liked how Tina Fey portrayed her. And the costumes are brilliant. We know that she's supposed to be that miserable teacher, and she dresses like it. The glasses, the button up blouse. It was literally beautiful what she's wearing. And of course, the girls, they wear. I mean, it's Mean Girls. We kind of have an idea already what they wear, so. It's kind of just very stereotypical, this movie. Very stereotypical. The context, well, I can't really say if there's any historical or political context here. I just think that it was her just trying to help these girls out. She obviously knows that or maybe she doesn't know, who knows, but she might have an idea hey, these girls I know these people don't take me seriously. I know you people think I'm this and that, but she's actually giving them advice, and that's how I see this context. I think that I understand that maybe those teens didn't take it seriously or not, but she literally did an amazing job. This would have been amazing if this happened now. This would be awesome because she's literally giving them advice. I feel for a female teacher, she definitely connected to those female characters in the film. So I like that. I think the context here was amazing. I'm pretty sure that this is the scene. This is the scene where she's in the classroom, so she's telling them how their lives are gonna turn out, and I think she did an amazing job here. So I don't know if I've already stated it. I didn't know if I stated it clear earlier, but her motivation here is to really just get it in their heads. She's trying to teach them a lesson. She's trying to teach them, you don't get your stuff together, this is kind of what's gonna happen. She's really doing a great job at that also. Framing, I loved how they framed this. Obviously, she's mainly censored because she's the one that's talking and everything. It was in focus, and I wouldn't say it was necessarily a close-up. If I remember correctly, I think it was more of a long shot. And she moves within the frame because I'm pretty sure that she's, like, walking during this. And she has her, like, her hands, her arms, like, placed together. So I think that she was walking a little bit here, and she did a really good job at that. You know, it's like if your teacher was teaching you a lesson, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that's how she was talking. And I liked how the way that they framed it was pretty clever, because it made me feel like I was listening to my own teacher. Like, they did a really good job at that, because she's in the classroom, she's teaching them, she's talking to them personally, yes, but it gave me that type of vibe where I felt like I was in a classroom, you know? I felt like I was, like, listening to her. So I liked that a lot. Same thing for the camera work. The angles were amazing. Like, they were centered on her a lot of the times. And then for the point of view, the thing about Mean Girls is they had a very interesting camera angles. A lot of the times the camera kind of, like, stays on the audience. It's like us as the audience, we see through everybody's eyes, kind of, you know, like for Miss Normany, we're seeing in the screen, we're focusing on her because she's the person talking, yes, but then I think it does move to, like, when she says the girls' names, it does, like, show the girls, if I remember correctly, and that's kind of funny, because I wouldn't say that the camera acts as the eyes of a character. It just shows off, it kind of just acts as, like, as us, as the audience. Us as the audience, we're kind of, like, following along with them and everything that's going on here, which is, I like that a lot. And you see, this is what I'm trying to talk about. Camera movement is a really big deal. Like, a really big deal in this film, because they move the camera so that we're kind of, like, it's almost like in The Office when they record, like, awkward things. That's kind of how I see it here, because they record everything. They literally, like, sometimes in Mean Girls, there's, like, some really awkward, like, there's some awkward scenes, and we're kind of just, like, us as the audience, we're kind of, like, we see the awkward scene, and, like, the camera moves, we move with the camera, basically, you know? And the camera does move so that we know what's going on, which I like the camera movement. It kind of emphasizes, like, the awkwardness of the film. And the editing is good. I'm saying, for the camera movement that they do, in Mean Girls, they do a lot of, like, fast camera movements, which for that, you need good editing. And that editing, they do amazing editing. Like, it doesn't even feel like I'm watching a film. It kind of just feels like my eyes. It feels like my own eyes. Like, it feels like I'm looking at that person as fast as the camera looks at her. So I like that a lot. I don't think there was music in this scene. Mean Girls is funny because when they do use music, it's for a lot of, like, the walking scenes, if I remember correctly. But they don't, like, I know that this isn't, like, a cute, sad film. I mean, I guess it could be if you want to take it that far, but it's just such an awkward film. It's so stereotypical also. So I don't think they use that much music here. But this film does make use of voiceovers for sure. Like, when we do get a kind of narrative type of effect through some parts of the film. And what other details are important in the scene? I'm not really sure how you could say this, but I guess if I remember correctly from this scene, because I watched the scene already. I'm trying to remember everything. I think that they do, like, I'm not sure, but I think they show the classmates kind of, like, looking at her, which I liked. I like that detail because, we're supposed to see the character's emotions, and we're not only getting a feel of her, but we're also getting a feel of, like, the classmates and their perspectives, which is what I like about Mean Girls. They always show, like, every character's emotion, every character. So I kind of like that detail. As for the director, I'm actually never heard of him. I've never heard of his other films. I've never heard of his other films. I think Mean Girls, he has a lot of films. Oh no, I remember Freaky Friday. No, yeah, because I know that he's not that popular. I knew that, but, like, there had to be some movie, and yeah, it was Freaky Friday. Sorry, if I am correct, because I'm kind of just going off the top of my head here. If I am correct, he did do Freaky Friday, which is a really good film. Like, I love that film. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's awesome. So yeah, I think he definitely had those two iconic films. He's done really good work, actually. It's funny because you can kind of tell, at least when I watch Freaky Friday, you can kind of tell, like, you can kind of tell the characteristics that make it his work, because his work is, his work. So it's just funny, really, because you can kind of see in Freaky Friday the similarities, even though it's not, like, the same plot or anything. It is kind of like the same thing. Like, they do have those scenes where the camera movement is, like, it shows you everybody, it shows you everything. Like, it'll move fast to one character or to another character, like, we feel like we know what they're doing because the camera's moving with us. So I like that a lot. And yeah, I hope I got I hope I got most of these details correctly. Again, I'm sorry for turning this in so late. I'm probably gonna turn this in at like 6, because now I have to like edit this whole podcast, and it takes a while. It always takes me forever to get it uploaded on YouTube, and I don't know why. So yeah, I'm just so sorry about that. I am so sorry about this, Mr. Patterson. But yeah, thank you. And yeah.